All right, as the music fades, that is our cue. We're kicking off our US ProAdvisor Town Hall today. Again, thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Kim Amsbaugh. I am the leader of account communications and responsible for our outbound comms to all of you. I'm here today with Ted Callahan, the leader of the QuickBooks business at Intuit, focused on you, our partners in the accounting community. We're all here today to go through the QuickBooks Online, payroll, and desktop changes we shared via email on May 26th. I'll be moderating this conversation. Ted will lead the conversation and answer your questions. We also have several teammates across the QuickBooks business who will be answering your questions submitted via the questions icon located at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Please submit your questions by clicking on this question icon. Before we get started, however, we do want to just quickly go over our agenda for today. Ted will provide some context around the changes we announced last week. He will then go over in detail the upcoming QuickBooks Online, payroll, and desktop changes that go into effect later this summer and into the fall. We'll then have our Q&A, answering questions submitted by many of you in advance and others submitted live today. We will then wrap up. This session is also being recorded and will be added to our frequently asked question articles about these changes that are located on our Firm of the Future blog. And with that, I'll hand things over to Ted.
Thanks, Kim, and thank you all for joining us today. It is always a pleasure to be with you, even if it's in this virtual environment. And I wanted to start by saying, I, like thousands of my colleagues here at Intuit, are fired up to come to work every day because of our shared mission with you, which is powering the prosperity of our small business customers. You've heard me say this many times before, and Arij before me, you are the most critical partner for us in our ecosystem because of the way that you help our small businesses be successful. And we are in this together. Part of how we're in this together is that you give us feedback, lots of it, that is on point. Sometimes it's critical, sometimes it's encouraging. We love all of it, doesn't matter the tone, because it helps us improve the experiences to do that mission of powering prosperity for our shared customers. So thank you so much for your partnership. Going back years and even decades as I've gotten to know so many of you, thank you for your partnership. And as I look forward, I hope all of you will continue to be on that journey with us. Because of your priority role, we have a commitment with you to tell you of upcoming changes first. So you've got the knowledge and the context to support your clients through change. Because of this principle, you all received an email on May 26th that outlined pricing changes coming to both QuickBooks Online and our desktop platforms. And some of your clients may have even started to receive emails about us, emails from us earlier this week. So I wanted to take a quick moment and set some context, grounding us in the power that the QuickBooks platform brings to you and your clients. Our QuickBooks vision is to be the single source of truth for small business owners who need every advantage to adapt and prosper. When we survey small business owners, 72% say, I've got too many tools. I want one tool to rule them all, to make it simple for me to make the right decisions. And so QuickBooks, you all have watched us. QuickBooks now includes everything from the ability to connect to you as ProAdvisors right in that beginning experience when a small business starts and creates their account with us, to now providing you and your clients access to capital, to banking services, more and more robust accounting tools, as well as payroll, payments, and so much more, some of which I'm going to be talking about later today. With all of that, QuickBooks is committed to helping you save time and money while providing you the insights that are going to help you and your clients make the most informed and impactful business decisions so they can grow and prosper, which is more critical than ever in these dynamic times. And now you've heard the QuickBooks platform includes MailChimp, providing you and your clients with the opportunity to find new customers and manage existing ones better than ever before. All of this power is designed to help you and your clients grow. Okay, so let's get to why we're making these changes. So if we'll pull the slides up. All the investments and innovations that we're making in QuickBooks is for one reason and one reason only, and that is to power your success and your client's success. And I'm so excited to give you a quick report on what we said we were going to do last year when we were in a town hall together last June, when Arij and Alex Chris joined me to talk about some of the changes we were making. And we said we were going to go do two things with that set of changes. The first was that we committed to you to turn around customer success. So let me tell you where we're at on that journey. We've now brought back over 90% of ProAdvisor support for you back to the United States during regular business hours. We've hired hundreds of agents, including over 150 accounting and tax professionals, so they can speak your language. We also have been working really hard on the technology. Oh, stay on that previous slide, please. We've been working hard on the technology to get you to the right expert faster so you can get back to your client work faster. And I'm excited to share that with these changes, we've reduced hold times by 50%. And what is most exciting for me, I'm seeing you all talking about the improvement you've seen in Facebook groups, on Twitter and other social channels, and in just direct conversations with us. So that is awesome, and we're not done. We are not satisfied with where we're at. We're continuing to push more, but tremendous improvement. And so thank you for your feedback to telling us, hey, you wanted to see impact. We listened, we're delivering that for you. We've also been hard at work to ensure payroll works the way that you want it to work. You told us you wanted more flexibility. And so we found 49 workflows in payroll that we then said, how can we be giving you the access and the autonomy to do the work that you can do? You don't need to call into support or ask us to do changes. We now have given you back control to 32 out of those 49. And later this summer, you're going to get paycheck correction so you can edit, void, and delete paychecks that haven't yet been run. And we're also bringing you Form 943 for your agricultural clients, something we've been hearing about for a long time. So we're excited to be delivering that for you. So that's all of what we've been up to in the last year on the two biggest priority areas that you were asking us for. I know I may be taking too long, but I'm so fired up about this, and I wanted you to hear the tremendous improvement. We're also working really hard to make product improvements at the speed and the scale that you and your business need. And so that's why we've talked about providing that end-to-end platform, and we're making that platform more impactful with deeper integrations, not only across payroll and payments, but now including MailChimp and QuickBooks Commerce, so that you have that one source of truth. And then finally, we are committed to aligning our product investment with our product strategy. Our products across both our online and our desktop platforms provide so much value to small business owners. We are committed to continuing improving performance and security to those products. And at the same time, we see how fast the market is changing in that shift to online. And so we are continuing to be prioritizing our investments in the QBO online platform. We'll get more on that later. So let's get to the next slide and get into the specifics of our email. So let's start with our QuickBooks Online price changes. Now you're going to see in the next set of slides, we're going to have this convention where we've got these colored chevrons across the top that talk about the dates of when the change will impact different customers depending on how they're billed and which subscription they're on. I won't read to you. I know you all can read great, but just to orient you on the top. And then on the bottom part, you can see here are the price changes. The number one takeaway that I want you to hear, we hear from you so consistently that you want time to prepare your clients, especially those that you've got on our ProAdvisor preferred pricing. And you can see here, there is no change for your clients on ProAdvisor preferred pricing until September 1st. We're giving you 90 days plus notice on that. Now you can see the new prices. It's $5 for Simple Start Essentials and Plus, and then $20 increase on Advanced. Critically, the other piece that I want you to hear is that this will be affecting new subscriptions, which would include an upgrade or a downgrade. And I know some of you are asking, hey, I understand these are the retail prices, Ted, but what about my clients that are on the discount, are they getting the discounted price? And the answer is yes. So if you've got a client who was on wholesale billing before ProAdvisor preferred pricing, they will continue to get that discount applied to this new price. So that's our changes for QuickBooks Online. There are no changes to the QuickBooks Online self-employed product. That price remains the same. Let's move now to QuickBooks Online Payroll. Now, QuickBooks Online Payroll, we've got a couple of products. This is only the core product where the employee fee is changing. And for both our core and our premium products, the monthly subscription price is staying the same. It is not, I repeat, it is not changing. And so therefore, the only change is the per employee fee is going up $1 for core payroll customers. You can see the timeline across the top. I won't walk you through it again. And again, if you had clients on this is the retail price, right? Your discount still applies to these. Kim, anything that you want to add on this slide before we move on to contractors?
Nothing to add. Thank you, Ted.
Awesome. Thanks for letting me get a sip of water. So QuickBooks contractors, we're also making a change here, and this is a little different. Traditionally, we had a per contractor price each month. What we saw is that most of our customers had on average around 4 contractors, and then we had those that had lots more, right, 20 or more, and we saw, wow, this pricing model isn't working the way that we want it to. We want more flexibility so that folks can be hiring, especially in these dynamic times where you're surging up contractors to make up for staffing shortfalls. So this is the change that we've made. And you can see we're providing this new bundled pricing. So it's $15 for up to 20 contractors, then it's $2 per additional contractor. And then we're showing if you are paying through our ProAdvisor preferred pricing, you can see that price below. So this is trying to make our pricing reasonable and consistent for more of our small business customers here. So we've covered QuickBooks Online, we've covered payroll, both employee and contractor. And now I want to go change gears a bit and talk about our desktop pricing. So we've gotten a lot of questions on this. I know we'll have more in the chat, so thanks team for fielding those. What I want to share is some of the changes about our upcoming some of the upcoming changes about desktop. And again, if I go back to our principles of we tell you first, and we try to consolidate all of that change into single moments so that you can hear it all at once, so you're not hearing this and it's death by 1,000 cuts. So what we're doing here is we're actually telling you about change that we haven't even completely made the decision on, because we wanted you to hear about it first from us and have the time to prepare. And so here's what's coming. We will be changing price on QuickBooks Desktop later this summer. We're going to let you know about that, the latest in early August. The new product will be available to you before it's available to your clients, as you can see on the top. And the changes that we know that we're going to be making that we're ready to tell you about today is that all our Desktop Plus products are going to be sold at full MSRP, no discounts, no matter the channel. Then our standalone QuickBooks Accountant Desktop is going to be moving, just like the Plus product, to an annual subscription model. So that's going to replace the perpetual license that you all are used to. It will still have multi-user access. Now, I know that I've learned in talking with you, some of our internal language sometimes is different from the way that you all think about our products. And when you all sometimes, some of you, when you hear the word desktop, you think both the Desktop Plus product and Desktop Enterprise. We're only talking about the Desktop Plus products here. The Enterprise product line we're continuing to invest in. And I just want to differentiate, when we're talking about desktop, we're just talking about the Desktop Plus products. So that is the set of changes that are coming on desktop. Like I said, we're still in the midst of making those, but we know how critical it is for you to hear the information all at once. And so plan on a price increase coming on the desktop products. So that pretty much wraps up all of the pricing related changes that we emailed you about. I'm sure you've got tons of questions, so I'm excited to get to the Q&A. If we go to the next slide, I want to tell you about one more really exciting piece of great news. And that is that we've been hard at work in rolling out RevShare to you. We started rolling it out earlier in the spring, and we've been learning and iterating and improving that experience. And we are on track for a full launch to all of you by July 1st. The reason we're so excited about this is that you all have been asking us for some alternatives to being able to give your clients the great discount, but not have to be in the middle of the relationship of the billing. And so revenue share provides you the opportunity for your client to get a great discount, you to get compensation for the critical role that you play in introducing us to that client. And then you don't have to be in between us and your client when it comes to the pricing changes in the billing. So that is now coming July 1st. We talked about this at our QuickBooks Connect. And so we're very excited to give you yet another option so that you can be working more closely with your clients than ever. So excited for that. So now, as I wrap up and I get ready to take your questions, I recognize we across the team recognize price increases are never easy to hear, but they are necessary to deliver the products and the services and the support you and your clients need both today and in the future. And our commitment to you is to be the best partner to you, always looking for new ways to be investing and improving the experiences. I talked about some great strides we made in support. We're continuing to push and make better changes. We are working to improve our agent knowledge. We're going to have the majority of the agents that are answering your questions in our support to be both trained as a ProAdvisor and getting certified. And we continue to double down and hire more agents to help you. There's more changes coming to both QuickBooks Desktop and online. I'm not going to read them all to you, but we've heard your feedback on our chart of accounts and on sales tax, and we're working on that. And like I said, the team has made tremendous strides in our commerce product. We're building that inside QuickBooks Online, and you've already heard about our MailChimp integration. The final piece that I want to leave you with is that a new benefit that's coming to you it is an exclusive ProAdvisor benefit, is that we're going to have a 15% discount on MailChimp exclusively for our Gold, Platinum, and Elite ProAdvisors. So that's some of the exciting areas ahead. So now let's get on to questions, and back to you, Kim.
Okay, thank you so much, Ted. Sorry, I was getting myself off mute there. All right, like I said, thanks for walking everyone through all of those changes. We will now be going through some of the top questions that you all submitted in advance, as well as answer questions that you are submitting live in the Q&A function located at the bottom of the Zoom environment. We have a ton of questions. Folks, as I mentioned, across the team are diligently answering them as best as they can, as quickly as they can. So we've got a ton of members on the team that are here helping us out. So with that, let's get to our first question. Ted, we received several questions in advance, and we're seeing many here in the live Q&A just about why we're increasing our prices, whether it be within the context of inflation, continuing pandemic, commenting about how potentially we're pricing ourselves out of the small business market. Can you just tackle these groups of questions off the top in terms of why we're increasing our prices across our QuickBooks platform?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the questions. And they're questions that we've asked ourselves as well, right? And as I said, price increases, the news is never easy to hear. And trust me, the decision to make a pricing change is not one we ever take lightly. It is something that we really think about deeply before we make. As I said, price increases are part of, as you all know, looking around anywhere in the world today, price increases are necessary to deliver business. And we are committed to you to give you the best in class products. And we want to keep our pricing aligned to the value that we're rolling out. And so what I would ask is, please keep the feedback coming so that we can meet the needs of all of your clients. Some of you are saying, hey, I'm concerned about my clients getting priced out. That's something we want to hear. We want to hear what's going on that's causing you to have that concern. Where is the product not meeting those clients' needs, and what can we be doing about it? And the last piece I would share is we are committed to continuing to tell you first, and even telling you about those upcoming changes so that you can support your clients to make the best decisions for their business. So thank you for the question.
Okay, our next question actually is from Jody in the Q&A here this morning. Why the bigger increase for advanced when Fathom is no longer going to be included?
Yeah, great question, Jody. If we look at what the advanced product is doing, we are so much of the QuickBooks Online innovation is going into our advanced product. In fact, we on the ProAdvisor team are having to rev our advanced product training multiple times a year because of all of the changes that are coming out in it. What we saw in Fathom is that we were hoping Fathom would need the needs of more advanced clients in that mid-market space to provide the reporting and the cuts of the data that you needed. And we saw that both the usage of Fathom was lower than we thought it would be, and for those that were using it, it wasn't meeting their needs the way that we saw we could by making some of our own changes internally. And so we've rolled out several different enhancements. We've got integrations to provide the ability to export all of the data into an Excel file so you can slice and dice and pivot to your heart's content to get to the right cuts that you need to answer your clients' questions. We've got more advanced functionality in Centage integration and Panda Sync as well. And so we are committed to providing the needs that you and your clients have in our product. We're going to be able to do that faster and better than by leveraging a third party. So that's why.
Great, thanks, Ted. We've got several questions from folks just clarifying how these pricing changes impact wholesale. So if you could walk us through, because some folks are, for example, we have clients that we had on 50% discount that were grandfathered in to the prior year price increase. When will their pricing be raised? Will they be moving to the 30% off pricing structure? So just several questions around wholesale billing and how the new pricing impacts the timing, and when specifically the timing is.
Yeah, great questions. And so let me try to hit on them, and it may even be helpful to pull up the slide that we had that showed the ProAdvisor preferred pricing discount, and then I can speak to the changes. That was slide 15, I think, if you want to pull that back up. So just to set the context, you all have been with us for years, even decades. And for some of you on the call, you're very familiar with the old discount that we provided our ProAdvisor community, which we called a wholesale billing discount. That was a 50% off. Last year, we rolled out a new discount structure called our ProAdvisor preferred pricing, and that's 30% off. We have a commitment to honor the agreement that we made for you. And so if you have a client that has that 50% discount, what we call that wholesale billing, we continue to honor that discount. However, the price level is changing. And so the way to think about this is the retail price is going up $5. We still honor your 50% discount. So the net impact to your client is $2.50. So your discount is honored, the price level is changing, the discount's being applied to the new price, and then that's the price that your client would see. So if we can bring up that slide 15 to show everybody that, if that didn't answer the question clearly enough, I'm happy to have the visual as well, where you can see, here's the new pricing structure. Okay, great. So as I said, here we're showing you our new prices that are going to be effective in July and going forward. You can see the prices for the different SKU. The ProAdvisor discount, as I talked about, is 30%. And then the discount that your client would be, the price that your client would be paying after the discount is applied is that bottom row. So for Simple Start, $30, there's a 30% discount, they'd be paying $21 a month going forward. And again, that's for the ProAdvisor preferred. If you had the wholesale discount because you had a client that you had billing that was in the past, that would be $15. So that's the price level and how the discount works. There was also a question of the timing of, hey, when is this going to hit my clients who are on that wholesale billing? And the answer is that those changes will not occur until September 1st for any of the clients for whom you are doing the billing. So thanks, we can take the slide down.
Just one quick,
go ahead.
sorry, Ted,
Yeah.
just one quick related question. And just asked, is revenue share available for desktop customers? And is it only for new customers? Yeah,
great questions. So the answer is revenue share is part of our QuickBooks Online program. So it only applies to QuickBooks Online Payroll at this time. And it is only for new clients.
All right. Ted, there's a couple of questions asked around clarifying the upcoming desktop price increases. What are they? And can you reiterate the timing?
Yeah, so I can't share what the price changes are because we haven't decided on them yet. What I wanted you all to hear from us today, again, because we see this dramatic shift that's going on where you're supporting clients and some of them are saying, hey, is now the time for me to get to QuickBooks Online? So what we wanted to provide you the visibility with was we're changing our QBO prices, our QBO payroll prices effective in July and going forward. Desktop, we're planning on those changes. We haven't yet locked them in. We're going to be communicating those to you in August, and then they will be taking effect in September. And that's for the upcoming Desktop Plus product that is now a subscription. So it's the Desktop Plus 2023 product.
Thanks, Ted.
Yep.
We actually have a couple of questions around our desktop enterprise. For example, Liz just asked, will the enterprise product line be perpetual or subscription? I got a little confused with your statement about that.
That's a good question. So what I was trying to clarify is that I think some members of the community, when they hear us use the word desktop, they think desktop is both Desktop Plus and enterprise. What I was trying to clarify was that when we talk about desktop, we need to be more specific in our language. Intuit, we Intuit need to be more specific. And so the changes that I was highlighting were for the Desktop Plus product line. Enterprise is a subscription product. So that just to clarify both the language and the question.
Thanks, Ted.
Mm-hmm.
We've got one question around our sales tax capabilities. Are you continuing investment in sales tax? The new version is not meeting my needs.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know who that was, but whoever you are, there are several of you. We have heard from you at our most recent Accountant Council about some of the issues that you're now facing with Sales Tax Center. And yes, we are working to make those changes. And so we have heard you and we are working on it.
Okay, one question here is around, sorry, I'm just grabbing it here so I say it correctly. There's several questions around whether accountants will be able to continue e-filing Form 943. And I was wondering if you could ask that question and
Yeah.
its availability within QuickBooks Desktop too.
Yes. Okay, great. Yeah. So thank you for the question. So again, Form 943 is a form that we've been hearing people asking for in our QuickBooks Online payroll product. And so the good news I was sharing in the beginning of the meeting was that that is coming to online. Now there's a question about, hey, for the desktop product that already had that capability, can we continue e-filing? The answer is yes. We're not changing that.
Okay, fantastic. Let's see. There are some questions. There's many questions. We're up to 171 questions.
Oh, great.
So
I'm glad I've got 3 glasses of water here.
So I'm trying to find themes so just to be helpful here, just so that we can tackle as many questions as we want, or as we need, or as we can, I should say. Okay, we've got a question from Sharon. Since fees are increasing, will all our customer service reps now be located in the US?
So yeah, so it's a great question. The way that we've been, and so as I shared in the beginning, we heard about the problems that you all had with your customer support experiences, right? And to be super clear, in the past, the way we were monitoring those from our dashboards, everything was looking green. It was only your feedback. This is why your feedback is so critical. It was only through your feedback that we uncovered, oh my gosh, there's a different reality that you all are experiencing than our data is telling us. So again, thank you so much for the feedback. Please keep it coming. As we've been transitioning and moving all of your support to back to be based in the United States, one of the things that we've found is you all need support not just during normal business hours, but outside of hours. And our support for you outside of the normal business hours is still based in some of our teams that are remote, right? Not in the continental US. And so to provide, this is a more detailed answer than you may want, but to make sure that you have that same great experience. And I heard from some of you that you were saying, I know some of the agents that are supporting me and I don't want to lose them. They're great. We said, we know, we agree. And so we have this model of about 90% of the support is onshore back in the US so that we can make sure we provide the same quality level of support after business hours with some of those remote teams. So that's why the nuance and why not all.
All right, fantastic. All right, I'm gonna shift a little bit to QuickBooks Desktop Payroll. We've got a question. If I read the pricing change email correctly, it appears that new payroll subscriptions for QuickBooks Desktop Payroll will no longer be offered. Does this mean that processing payroll in QuickBooks Desktop is going away for new customers? The email almost makes it sound like QuickBooks Online will be the only method to process payroll for a new customer.
Yeah, so good question. And so I think what I'll invite a member of the desktop team to give more specifics here, but what I want you all to hear is that we are very committed to supporting you who are supporting our customers. And we know there are those of you who've built your businesses around supporting clients in the desktop platform. So we continue to support you in that product. What we also see is that there is this mega trend of folks moving to the cloud. It's accelerated with COVID. And your clients are asking to get those benefits so they can seize the benefits of anytime, anywhere access, automated bank feeds, connected apps, all of the universe of benefits. And so we are committed to being on top of these trends. We're moving really fast to support you and your clients. And we're investing in QBO to be able to provide more and more customers the opportunity to get their work done in QBO. So desktop is an amazing product. It's not going away. As we look forward to the future, we're investing in QBO to be supporting this transformation to the cloud. We're continuing to develop desktop enterprise, like I said. And then for the specific payroll product, as part of that continued support for you, you're going to still be able to process payroll. So I'd invite anybody to jump in.
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in on that.
Yeah, jump in,
So, Yeah, no worries. Great to see everybody. My name is Eddie. I lead the expert segments in QuickBooks. Ted, you're exactly right. So to be really direct, there is no change to desktop payroll. You can add new customers. Those customers can get payroll and you can run payroll for those clients. For all the reasons that Ted described, our investments are very heavily going into the QuickBooks Online ecosystem. That's just the reality. That's where the trend is going. We're getting ahead of that trend by our investments in QBO. And we have no plans to make any changes to QuickBooks Desktop. And to answer this person's specific question, that includes QuickBooks Desktop Payroll.
We had one question, Ted. Is the 5 for 5 going away?
So that's a question about our multi-company discount that historically we've called, that sometimes we've run as a set of where you could buy 5 subscriptions for $5 each. So with the changes we made last year as part of our ProAdvisor preferred pricing model, we stopped that program. So the answer is yes, that's gone away. We have a new multi-company discount structure.
Okay, thanks for that. Going back to payroll, many people have asked, please clarify what renewals will be allowed for enhanced payroll for accountants. If you are an existing user, your renewal will not be impacted in any way, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to pull Joanna into the conversation because I want to make sure that a domain expert is being as specific as possible in answering this question. Joanna, can you join us? And Kim, if you could repeat the question, that would be great.
Yes, absolutely. Many people have asked, please clarify what renewals will be allowed for enhanced payroll for accountants. If you are an existing user, your renewal will not be impacted in any way, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Thank you for the question. And apologies for any confusion on our announcement that we sent out. As Arij mentioned, we are not making any changes to our desktop payroll products and subscriptions. You and your clients can continue to add payroll, continue to use that product. The only change that we did make was in the enhanced payroll for accountants product. And if you have that product today, you can continue using it. You can continue supporting your clients. We have just opted to no longer continue to sell new subscriptions of that. And so that is the only change that we have made. And apologies, I should have introduced myself, Joanna Hamilton, and I lead the marketing for the desktop ecosystem.
Thanks, Joanna.
Thanks, Joanna. Okay, Ted. Gary asked, you just had a price increase only 1 year ago. So can we expect annual price increases?
Yeah, this is a question we get a lot. And so I think if you look at our behavior, you can certainly say, hey, right? If you go last year, we raised prices, but then for the previous 2 years, we did not raise prices. And so I think the question that I would ask all of you is, how frequently are you raising your prices for your clients, and what flexibility do you have in your pricing model to make the right changes for you as a small business owner? What I would say to you is we're going to continue to add more and more value into QuickBooks, and we're going to be pricing to value at the appropriate points in time that are aligned to what we're seeing in the market and to our strategy. But we don't have a policy of declaring, here's when we're going to be communicating raising prices or not.
Thanks, Ted.
Yeah.
A question that's come in, what advice would you give to an accountant who needs to be updated on new changes with QuickBooks?
I love this question because we have an entire team dedicated to getting you this information in a timely way in a couple of different aspects. The first is we use both email and what we call in-product discovery, or those wonderful icons that you see at the top of the product when you log in that tell you about change that's coming. We also have our Firm of the Future blog, where we share information on the regular with all of you. We've got a monthly roundup of changes, as well as more specific updates. And we ask some members of the community to be supporting us in communicating that. So we make sure we're communicating in language that's really clear, easy to follow, The third big way that we communicate is we have a monthly In the Know webinar where we share, here is the latest set of product enhancements or new experiences. And we do that monthly, and several thousand of you typically come out to that. So if you're unaware of any of those, please go to the Firm of the Future website. You can see where you can sign up and get more information on those. And then if there are other opportunities that you would say, hey, it would be, hey, Ted, I would love for you to be on TikTok. Amazing. Let us know, right? And then we can adopt and do new channels as well.
Great. Ted, we've got time for just about 2 more questions. The first one, where can I submit feedback?
Yeah, great question. So every time we send out a critical notice, we include, if you notice, in the email, a link for you to send us feedback. For this pricing email, we got over 240 comments, questions from you. So we actually tailored some of what we talked about today based on the input that you gave us. And so that's the #1 place that I would encourage you to be submitting feedback, is directly to us. We also have the ability to give us feedback in the product, and we're actively monitoring those channels as well. When you're in our product, you see, as you're exiting, you get a question of how likely are you to recommend the product? And then is there any feedback you'd like to leave us? Another place where we're constantly getting your input and processing.
All right, last question, Ted. Is QuickBooks Desktop going away?
Let me be super clear. No, it is not. And the slightly longer answer to that would be what I already shared with you. We're releasing a new version of Desktop Plus later this summer. And the future of where our investment is going, it's going to QBO and it's going to Desktop Enterprise. And the reason for that is that we, as I mentioned this before, but I'll repeat it because, as Brad always said, repetition doesn't ruin the prayer. Cloud is this mega trend that we've seen. And during COVID, we saw an acceleration. We saw actually 30% more of our customers moving to the cloud, moving from desktop to online. And our commitment to you is that we are on those trends. If we can, we want to be ahead of those trends and invest in those places where the puck is going, because you need a partner that's supporting you not only today, but in the future. And so as we look to the future, I would tell you, we're investing in QBO to make that a better experience for more of your clients than ever before. We're continuing to develop Desktop Enterprise, and Desktop is a great product. It's not going away.
Great. Thanks, Ted. So that was our last question. Before I hand it over to you to wrap up, I do want to again mention a couple of things. That shortly after this webinar is over, you can go to firmofthefuture.com to look through our frequently asked question articles regarding all of these changes. Those articles are currently up there and available and accessible for you to go through. In addition to that, we did record this webinar. So we will be adding a link to the recording to both of those articles so that you can go back and listen and hear any questions that maybe you wanted to hear again. Also, in regards to the question that was asked just a little bit ago around where I can submit feedback, actually, when we end this webinar, there also will be an opportunity to submit a survey, and that's a great chance to submit your feedback too. With that, Ted, I know you want to take one final moment to wrap up before we end our call today.
Yeah, thanks, Kim. And I'll be brief because I just looked at the clock and I was like, oh my gosh, this time has gone by really fast. Thank you all for being with us today. Your partnership, your presence on this call, your participation with us, the feedback that you provide to us, it is critical. It is fundamental to our mutual partnership. And so thank you for that. We hosted this Q&A because we want to make sure you are in the know, that you know first about these upcoming pricing changes, so you are prepared to talk with your clients. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to answer your questions directly. We're going to continue, as we have been learning on this call. Oh, we didn't answer that quite to the extent that we thought we would. That wasn't as clear. We're going to be updating the FAQ. So continue to go back to that as a resource for you so that you can be helping your clients. And I just want to conclude by saying, QuickBooks has been around for 30 years because of the partnership that you've had with us. We're focused on delivering for you for the next 30 years and beyond. So that is our commitment. We have no idea what the next year or years are going to bring, but we know that speed is critical and adaptation is critical. We've got to lean into embracing that change. And so thank you for the ways that you're here meeting your clients to bring out the best for them, helping them make the best decisions with this platform that we're providing to you through QuickBooks. My commitment is that we will be here for you. Like I said in the beginning, you're our valued partner. We're showing up to work every day, fired up to make those changes to power prosperity. We're aligned on mission. Thank you for being with us. We're better because of you. Have an awesome day and look forward to continuing the conversation online.